What's up, fight fans? This is Kurt DeVille with Counterpunch Boxing News, and I have some new news concerning Eddie Hearn, Devin Haney, and Gervonta Tank Davis. Get this. According to Hearn, he states there's no reason why Ellerbe, Team Tank, shouldn't reach out to fight Haney. Devin Haney's promoter hopes Gervonta Tank Davis or Vasyl Lomachenko are open to facing the unbeaten WBC World Lightweight Champion next. Eddie Hearn stated during his most recent appearance on DAZN, the boxing show. He said Haney has insisted or has resisted signing a new exclusive contract with DAZN so that there aren't any network or streaming service conflicts that could prevent either of those fights from happening later this year. Las Vegas Haney, which is 26-0-15, wants either of those fights if he isn't first forced to make a mandated defense of his 135-pound crown against Joseph Diaz Jr. When we say Devin Haney hasn't re-signed with DAZN, Devin Haney, you know I see him. He's a DAZN fighter, Hearn told co-host Barack Best and AK. And he will re-sign with DAZN. And he wants to re-sign with DAZN, but at the same time, we try not to give anyone excuses as to why those fights can't happen. Do you know what I mean? So, like, there's no reason why Leonard Ellerbe and Tank or Team Tank doesn't reach out and say, would he fight Gervonta Tank Davis? The answer is yes. The 22-year-old Haney's past 5 fights have been streamed on DAZN. Now, of course, we know that Devin Haney had his toughest task against Jorge Linares, which was a very, very competitive fight because it's Jorge Linares. Jorge Linares is a very game fighter, ex-champion himself, very quick, very fast from Venezuela, coming with the pain and the speed. And that really gave you some sense of where Devin Haney belongs, because if he didn't belong, he wouldn't be here now, okay? A guy like Linares, which dropped Vasyl Lomachenko, is one of those guys that you don't play with, okay? And I think, honestly, that he's fought the toughest of the opposition behind Teofimo Lopez, but Lopez, you know, is a totally different story right now. That's a totally different video. However, what Eddie Hearn is saying makes a lot of sense. Me counterpunching the comments of Eddie Hearn, it makes sense. It makes sense what Team Haney's doing, and it makes sense, and I understand and I can appreciate why Eddie Hearn is so calm about the matter, because we know, and time has showed us, experience has showed us, that when it comes down to guys like Leonard Ellerbe that promotes Devin Haney or Vasyl Lomachenko with Bob Arum, those guys are really, they really hide behind promotional outfits, and they love to keep money in-house. Floyd Mayweather said it himself. We want to keep money in-house because it's the best thing for our fighter, Gervonta Tank Davis. He's one hell of a fighter, and he's going to be a future Hall of Famer and a future winner. So, saying all that, along with Floyd, they like to keep stuff in-house, meaning they don't like to share money with other outfits because they think and they believe in competition. That's the only reason, okay? On top of competition from other outfits is a huge threat, okay? Leonard Ellerbe knows there's no sense of fighting someone like Devin Haney. Floyd knows how good Devin Haney is because he's trained Devin Haney during the pandemic, and he's seen and he's shown and he's taught this kid everything, if not more, than Gervonta Tank Davis. So the question, to answer Eddie Hearn's question, the reason why they won't fight Devin Haney is because Devin Haney's an outsider, on top of the fact that Devin Haney's a guy that if he beats their fighters, those fighters can't make the money, okay? And those guys that they have that they're fighting in-house, they're able to pay them money. They're able to manage what they have versus what they don't. And what they don't want is someone from the outside beating their fighter within. Okay, what would it look like for their outfit? What would it do for their fighter's marquee value? It would absolutely plummet. Okay, that's exactly what will happen. So Leonard Ellerbe, Floyd, those guys are smart enough not to bring or not to call or reach out to anybody like that. Look at what happened. Let's go back 3 years, maybe even 2, right? Let's look what happened to Tank Davis and Vasyl Lomachenko. Lomachenko called out Tank, called out Tank, called out Tank some more. What happened? Nothing happened until you guys remember that, right? If you don't remember, let me give you a backstory. Okay, Vasyl Lomachenko reached out to Floyd and said, "Well, I would love to fight you in your prime. I would love it, but you, I don't want. I want your fighter, Tank. Stop protecting your fighter. Stop hiding your fighter." And Floyd responded. He didn't respond to the tweet, I don't believe. He responded to the public like he does because he needs that spotlight, right? And Floyd said this, we're not going to do that. He's wasted. It's not our fault that Vasyl Lomachenko wasted all that time in the amateurs. That's his fault. He wanted goals. He got goals. But he's almost 35 years old. Tank's time is coming. And don't worry about Vasyl Lomachenko. Lomachenko is on his way out. You guys remember that? Okay, if you don't know, now you know. But as soon as Tank Davis started getting pissed off and smelling himself a little bit, started putting subliminal messages on Twitter, Floyd changed his tune. I think we can make that fight happen because I think Tank's ready. I'm like, whoa, wait, is he ready now? Right? So he was actually considering feeding Lomachenko to Tank Davis. Now you have another young, bright fighter, Devin Haney, that also wants an opportunity to show he's the best, but you need the rest to do that now, don't you? Right? But these guys aren't reaching out because the same thing that could happen with Vasyl Lomachenko is the same thing could happen in a situation with Devin Haney. Okay? Tank could get outboxed being the vicious, young, marketed, Mike Tyson-ish type smaller fighter and a smaller heavyweight, knocking out guys and moving up to do it. They don't want to stop that steamroll for Devin Haney because Devin Haney has nothing to do with the PBC. He's not signed with the PBC. They can't market a guy that's not in their stable. They're not going to do that. Okay? So with Eddie Hearn thinking that that will allow or convince Leonard Ellerbe or Floyd or even Bob to come on, I don't think so. I don't think that's the case, especially when you have fighters that don't even want to challenge for that WBC belt. But anyway, that's my counterpunch on Eddie Hearn's statements. You guys tell me what you think. Of course, please subscribe. And you guys been counterpunch. Peace.